Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace, and I'm out. I'm going to try to find a place that has some shade so I can make videos. In this video, I'm going to talk about, what I plan to talk about, is when you watch someone online and you start to see a decline, a deterioration of their, well, what would be the best word for it though? When like they have a really cheerful kind of attitude, or a real happy kind of person. They're optimistic, whatever it is they're doing, they're talking about. And then over, say, a year or 2 years, whatever, they don't make videos every day, so, but you start to see this decline, this, everything starts to change. That's what I want to talk about. Okay. First, it doesn't look like I'm going to find any shade today to sit in. My SUV says it's 81 degrees. This is Texas, north of Dallas, a suburb. It's a big city all to itself. Yeah. And no shade except on the other side, so I have to turn around up here. Yeah, that's unusual. Usually there is some shade right around here. This street right here. But like right there. I have to turn around. Anyway, just so I can just sit and make some video. Of course, I could have done it outside my house, where you'd be looking at a brick wall, but I don't like that either. So. Anyway, a little bit out of breath. Little things before I get started is I'm still dealing with whatever this weird health issue is all around. I spoke to my, had a discussion with the physical therapist on it. She is one of them that needs to know about this. And, we can work with the doctor and find out what I need to do if it continues. Because I have shortness of breath, and this is not like me. But everything started changing when I was 59, and I'm 61 now. Boy, it feels like I've been 61 for a really long, long time, which I guess is a good thing, but at the same time, it's because so much has happened. 60 flew by, but 61, yeah, and I still have few months to go. Anyway, a lot of the thing is walking, and quite often it's in the house. I attribute it to the yet another mattress we bought. These were being delivered, and they turned out wrong. They turned out basically springs, like a box springs, with a little teeny tiny, not even an inch thick material on them. What the crap is this? Seriously. And today I had Adam. I didn't tell him why I wanted him to do this, but I got him to do it without telling him even what he was going to do. He said, well, tell me what you want me to do. I said, because I don't want him planning any kind of, didn't want him to plan anything to oppose what I had, what I was going to say. I've mentioned this before. He's from the actually family that think they know everything, and he's actually told me that they believe that to carry on a conversation, they need to oppose what the other person says. So that brings about more and more conversation. No, you idiots. It does not. Telling somebody they're wrong after every sentence, Anyway, so I didn't tell him, He's been acting more and more like them, and so I didn't tell him. And basically, what I wanted him to do was to go into that front room where that bouncy house bed is, the second one, and to sit on the mattress right in the middle, at the end of the bed, just sit there. And he was a little reluctant, but he did it, and he just looked at me like, whoa. Because what happened is you just kind of sit on it, and you go way far down, and the sides, I said, look at the sides, and to the left and to the right of you, the bed mattress. And it is like those wings come up. I'm serious. And you're sitting way far down. You're being swallowed up by the mattress. On the sides, like wings are coming up, surrounding you. It's like, what the crap? And imagine, trying to lay on that bed. I told him, I said, it's like you need a rope from the other side so you can pull yourself just to sit on the bed. Not like at the end, but on the side. Or to try to lay down without getting swallowed up in it. It is just, one of the reasons is because I put a, what do they call them, a pillow top, on it that I had bought. But another one that I had won. Yeah. Anyway, but just to make it soft, because it was just springs and a little bitty thin material. Yeah. So I'm going to try it without those two and see if it's any better. But I think we did at first. Yeah. Anyway. What was I going to talk about? Okay. Anyway, you hear my voice going out. It's been doing that for how many months now? And sometimes it sounds so deep. And then it'll sound like squeak, squeak. Just doesn't sound like me. But maybe it's all part of that shortness of breath, it is such a weird, I think of it as a bed because I'm squished. I lay on that bed and I can't sleep at night. And I can't sleep on the other mattress downstairs in the master bedroom because it's hard. It's a firm mattress. I can't sleep on those. I'll wake up with aches and pains. So I'm going to have to, right now, I'm going through physical therapy and I'm going to try to working on these knees. I busted 2017 and then re-injured the other one 2020. And they've never quite gotten to where they're right. I just started this week working on the knees with the physical therapist. The rest is for the muscles, the hamstring muscles. But anyway, pretty much not all, but yeah, the main thing. And boy, do my muscles feel it. I'm serious. Do they ever feel it? So I do have muscle left, and it can hurt. Anyway, I was supposed to be talking about one topic, and that is about seeing somebody deteriorate. Now, I don't mean like me, like, get older or something like that, and go through health problems or something, something, that is something different. But it's like, have you ever watched someone and then gone back and watched some of their earlier videos and then notice, boy, what a difference in their whole attitude, the change, the way they behave because of whatever it is that they're doing. They're finding out how much corruption is involved. I think that's the best way to put it, is the corruption involved. How much is just so, besides corrupt, it's just bad. And their demeanor changes as they learn, this is all kinds of bad. If it's some kind of new job they started or a new whatever. And it's, it's kind of like, I can use the example of the, doing the food delivery, gig work, that kind of thing, the food delivery, and trying out all these different apps. And I still haven't been able to go back to work yet. I hope to go this week, like today, but I still have the shortness of breath, and I'm not going to, go out there and try and fall down or, something like that, make the situation worse. So maybe I will. Maybe I will later this week. I spoke to my physical therapist. She said, yeah, go back to work. Well, it was kind of funny the way she said it at the end of it. She said, go to work. said, okay. She kind of whispered. I don't know why she whispered it, but okay. But I don't know. Anyway, so I think today, today, that was yesterday. Or the day before. Yesterday, I think. Yeah. Boy, days are blurring now. But I think I'll go back and start to do it on Friday. Friday, or maybe the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Those are the better days. Friday might be a good one. We're having such beautiful weather. I probably should just say in this video, I'm not going to get to talk about what I plan to talk about out here, right? Yeah. But anyway, maybe I should. But have you ever done that? Watch somebody and just gone back, like I said, gone back and look at some of their older videos, like a year or 2 years, and not watch all of them, but good enough to see that they weren't like that then, but they are now. Just to see how bad, and there goes my voice, how bad it can be for somebody. Okay. As for me, like I've mentioned this in the past, the reason I'm doing it is because I have edema, and I can't work any kind of job where I would have to sit at a desk for too long every day. I can't sit, stand, lie down, or is it lay down? And, drive, I can't do anything for a long period of time. Seriously. And whenever I would need to, like if I'm sitting at a desk somewhere, even at home, if I worked from home, I would have to stop and, whenever if my legs and feet were to swell up, and they could do that within an hour. I think that's the fastest was an hour. Not even, maybe. I don't know. They still swell up. My legs actually look much like a much younger person's because they're so swollen, You get it? They're tight. And at first it was just like the lower part of the leg. Now it's like most of it. Anyway, so I had to think, and I did, think, what can I do? What really can I do? Because most stuff, if you do it online, you have to be there at certain times. So I really thought this through. And that was, in order to get the health insurance, this is what I was told. I had to earn it. I wanted to just pay for it. Pay cash, No, each month, no problem. Nope, they said I can't do it that way. The Affordable Care Act, Affordable Care. So what's the crap, And, I could still be wrong about all this after all these years. But anyway, they said I had to earn a certain amount. Yeah. And so this was what I thought I could do. This was the thing. One of two things I could do. And it's not been easy at all. Okay, but at least, my throat, I'm telling you. At least I can go home when I need to. Or not work. Not do it when I need to. I was in the hospital last year. It was only 2 days and 1 night, but then they screwed all that up. Ugh, that was so something. They didn't realize, the main nurse didn't realize there was one thing she was supposed to take care of, and she didn't see it until I had just been discharged. That's the one that doubled down on her stupidity. And that wasn't that wasn't that one. That was another thing. Man, really. Anyway, so I'm still paying for this crap. But I saw right away, I saw it's, you can call it corruption. What else would you call it whenever it's like you're doing the work, you're using your car, your vehicle, your insurance, auto insurance, which is so expensive. Man, your gas, your time and you're delivering to people, and these places are charging a delivery fee and all these other fees, but you only get a couple dollars of it, $2 to $3 out of the delivery fee, and they keep the rest. And they're earning that plus, like up to 30% or something from the restaurants. And they're just going to give you a little piddling, couple dollars, 2 or 3. And then you're relying on the customer to give you a tip. And a lot of customers, I live in the second wealthiest county in Texas. Second wealthiest. The first one I've seen, some say this is the wealthiest because of the size of it, population-wise, and the other one's small. So anyway, but just think of it, in Texas, all of Texas, and tips, yeah. I don't know, what was the maximum tip? I think it was $20 or something. I have never, ever, ever received a tip in person, but I don't get many. They call them meet at doors, hand it to me, whatever they're going to call it on whatever app, but I seldom ever get those. It's always leave it at the door, so I just leave them at the door. I don't even knock. I just walk off, because I have dogs. I know how that is. They don't always hear somebody coming up, but it depends on the house and where they are in the house and all that. But you knock on the door, man. I have a American Pit Bull Terrier and an Aussie, Black Lab Aussie mix. Yeah, 2 dogs. Those are 2 dogs. And one's the Pit Bull, one's the Aussie Black Lab. Okay. And man, oh man, it's like thunder through that house. They're going to get that person. But, so I just leave it at the door and not on the mat. People learn, don't put stuff on the mat. That's where people wipe their dirty feet. And if it's been raining, it's going to probably still be wet. So who wants soggy food that's been on a doormat, that's been people, you get it, right? So put it to the side in a place where it looks like it's, to the side. Nobody's going to be standing there rubbing their feet there. Seriously, come on now. Think. Okay, I don't give anybody any advice, but that's what I do. Anyway, so that kind of, doing this kind of work, and I see the whole thing about the money, it's just so pathetic. And another thing that really bothers me is porch pirates. The people that supposedly, the big supposedly, they, people who, customers who get their food stolen. I didn't receive it. When they could be lying. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, somebody claims that they got their food stolen or they didn't receive their food, and they're trying to blame the driver. Well, driver reported to the police. What are the police going to say? That's a civil suit between you and the company. No, it's a theft in your city. Oh, they don't like that. Because it's the truth. It's a theft. They stole it. It was stolen. But wouldn't that go against, I don't know. To me, it seems like that would go against their crime rates. Or go toward their crime rates. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. I would love to hear that I'm wrong. But shouldn't the police, therefore, if something is stolen off of somebody's front step, front entrance to their house, their property is stolen, that is a theft, the police should make a report on. If enough of these were done, would they be blaming the drivers, the delivery drivers all the time? would they be just zapping that money right out of the delivery driver's bank? Would they? If it was reported as a crime, the police would get kind of ticked off about that, don't you think? Cities would. Ooh, that is a big bird. Did you see that? It was like it was going to come and sit on top of my car, my SUV. But you see what I'm saying, right? Now, if somebody sees this stuff, I mean, I saw it right off the bat, all these kinds of things. And the ones that they say, they call them stacks. I don't know, I never got on the terminology down. I'm just like, I'm just going to call it what I want it to, whatever. Not per app. I'm going to call it on this one. I'm going to call it this. This one, I'm going to call it that. Nope. But, like you take a, you take one offer, order, whatever, to go deliver it, and then they say, hey, here's another one right down. You know, it's only 0.7, you know, of a mile. This is what happened to me. And I said, hey, yeah, you know, something like that, or maybe 0.1. And it turns out that's just from that one restaurant where I was about to pick up one to the next restaurant. But the actual driving was far. Now it just started doing. It was a new high rises, and it was bad out there because they were still making them, still building them, and there was a big old crane right in the middle of the road. On one of them, I had to go under the crane. It was just a mess, you know. Not know where there would be stuff on the road that would bust your tires, and you know, on and on like that. So, and plus, luckily the people had come down from the high rise, because where was they going to park? But it was really frustrating. It was really aggravating because it wasn't just a mile even. It was several miles away. And that was like another 45 minutes or something. 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever. The map wouldn't even give the right directions because it was new, being built. So think about all that. Yeah. Okay, apparently 4 o'clock is when some bell goes bing bing and everybody gets out and starts driving around the neighborhood, because it's all of a sudden gotten real busy. It's 4:01 now. It's like, hey, don't hit me. You know? Really, seriously. But hey, a little earlier when the schools let out, when one of the schools over here, yeah, soccer dads and coach moms, that doesn't sound right to you, does it? Yeah. Think about it. Soccer dads and coach moms. Anyway, when they're out picking up their kids, yeah, my goodness, they hit the part that says, where it goes back to 30, the speed limit goes back to 30, and it's one part. It's mainly one road. Zoom! They're going 60, 70. Oh, how quickly they forget. They got their kids in the car. I guess they don't worry. No, you should worry. There are other kids around here. Especially the ones that walk home from school. Man, people, I'm telling you. And you shouldn't be speeding in any neighborhood. Speeding at all. Period. Oh boy, I just had to get out of the house. But yeah, this stuff, you know, just seeing, you know, somebody, I mean, it's a bad thing to be sober. You know, some people that they rely on these doing gig work for, you know, whatever. And I mean, mine, I had to accept the fact that it might not work out. It might, you know, I have to do something else. And this would be, you know, first time I did it, woof, did you see that? Woof, a wasp. It's on my windshield now. But, go away, wasp. But you know, so I had to see it, and that was 2023, so I really haven't done enough. I want to show you this. Okay. This thing needs to move, don't you think? Scary, isn't it? Woo, there it goes. Okay, because like it was with me, when I first started doing these deliveries, and I went to a certain area where I wanted to be, in a certain town around here, in Collin County, Texas here, and man, it was hot. I was doing so much, and I was like, I bet this is like the honeymoon phase. They're gonna give me a bunch of good orders, good offers, at first, and then it's gonna go downhill, and it did. And the other ones, the same thing. First, they're great. After that, they're bad. Now, some people, they get really into it, really, because it's what they're depending on, especially people like have kids. A kid or kids, plural. They're sole supporter or whatever it is. And they have to have that for whatever, like pure survival. I mean, some people could say that. Same with me with the health insurance. It's not, it's survival in a different way. Because like I said, I was going to pay for it, the insurance, flat out, each month. But they said, nope, you got to do it this way. So, it's just a different way of survival. I need the health insurance. It's plain and simple. But anyway, people who just, they're depending on something that is just, there's no real rhyme or reason. It's not the American way, I guess you could say, of people doing business. And I remember I said some stuff before about a certain kind of way of doing it, and I think I would strike that because it's other people use it for other reasons. But anyway, it should be, you do a good job, you get paid accordingly, you get respected, a little bit. I'm not saying that you're way up there, because you might do a good job today and tomorrow a horrible one. But with the way it's set up now, that's a good chance. You can be flying high today, making lots of money, and then tomorrow they just send you one bad offer after another. There's no rhyme or reason in that respect. Like people, I think, here in the United States, would say, hey, this should be something. I don't even think waitresses, and waiters and waitresses, staff, I don't think that they go through this much of just, you work at a certain restaurant and you're going to get a certain type. Okay, I had to stop there. But you work at a certain, certain type of restaurant, and you're used to certain types. That's not the way in delivery, unless you had your area. It wouldn't be the same kind of restaurants though. Like you worked in one town. This is going to send you to 50 million different towns and cities, suburbs, areas of communities, whatever. A lot of people say, I don't want to go in that area, I don't want to go in that area, whatever it is to them. Those areas. But you're going to be going sent there and all this stuff. So there's no way to really have any prediction of what you're going to make. Seriously. You can't depend on it. Okay, because you could get a whole bunch of $2, $3 orders, offers. Somebody really wants you to go deliver their food, and that's no tippers usually. Deliver your food for nothing, $2, $3. Really think about that. The whole thing of $2, to me is like, wow. The whole thing of what they want to pay a lot of these is amazing to me. Now, remember the view that I'm coming from is I was going to pay for my health insurance myself, but I have to do this. And then I see how difficult, I'm not new to this world at all. How difficult it is for some people just to even pay, to earn that low amount. you know, to be, how do they say it? I think they say it, the poverty level or not, or a certain level, whatever it is, you have to earn that certain amount as a single person, or if you have kids, or if you have this or whatever is the amount you have to earn. And how difficult that is if you're relying on something that's that unpredictable. You know, then they try this stuff where they're going to pay you hourly, but that hourly depends on if you're actually working for them at the moment. You're actually doing, you know, you're actually on an order. You know, picking up, delivering an order at the moment. And it's only that time. It's not the other time that you're sitting there waiting for a new one. You know, seems like a ripoff. I think I may have tried it. I think I did. One time, and it wasn't as bad because of where I live in Texas. These other people, they're out there making this money. I'm like, how? Here, I'm serious. For a while there, I think the average was like $8 an hour. If not $0. Because when those, running across those fleet people, as I called them, you know, they all had the same kind of car. It was a sedan, a silver sedan, old, has been in a wreck, you know, all of them. It shows that they've been in a wreck at least once. Usually didn't have the front left, no front right. Hubcap, like I said, old. They were old and expensive. And yeah, the people who were actually driving them, I would see at stores. So did Adam. He was shocked the first time he saw one. He said, "You're right. They are like that." Ones that park in the parking spots for people with disabilities and put on their caution lights, like that makes a difference. Like it's okay there for them to park there. Or if they just don't care, they just park right in front of the door to the restaurant because it's all about them. And in customers' neighborhoods, they just park right in the middle of the road. Not kidding. I mean, I saw so many of them, they would come right after me, you know, or right before me, they would be there. Not paying any attention to the law of how you're supposed to drive and all that. But when they were out, I don't know if they still are. That was last summer mainly. Mainly last summer, I was complaining about them, and they got all the good ones. I could tell they would sit north of me. Wherever I was, they would come and sit north of me. Some of them were so blatant, you know, would come and have their camera on me as they drove past me. You know, somehow they were doing something. I even reported it more than once because I'd have the offer, I'd accept it, and it just suddenly disappear. You know, off of my phone when one of them was around. So, anyway, I think they got messed up because they're requiring more for them, not for the rest of us, but for them because they were requiring people to give their photos. Okay, I had to stop a school bus, just let out a bunch of kids right in front of me. It was like, whoa, whole bunch of kids. Kind of late. Wow. Anyway, where was I? But yeah, those fleet people. What I was meaning to say was, they started requiring drivers to give, you know, like an update on your, you know, to take a photo of yourself, a selfie right then, and in order to continue delivering, which I thought was a great idea. You know, seriously, because these fleet people wouldn't have the person they were using, you know, whose account they were using. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I'm going to drive around the block again and maybe find another place sit at the end of that street right there, because it's kind of late. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling in this, but Yeah, I'm feeling better. The more I'm staying outside, the better I feel. I'm telling you, it's in that house. It just is. The air, I actually turned on the air conditioner before I left. They said it was 71 in the house, but I want some air to circulate. Yeah. It's not the humidity zapping heater. You know, that was a big problem, I really do believe, because the humidity had gotten down to, well, let's just, everybody, like I said, everybody coming home, this is our rush hour. But the humidity had gotten down. One of the 3 times we had to have the heater on, we had all this crazy. But one of them, okay, look at, stare at me, I'm gonna stare back, crazy man. But anyway, one of them was 15% humidity. Yeah. Okay, it's not as much as I thought it would be right here, the shade, but oh well. I'm wrapping this one up anyway, I guess. But anyway, yeah, I mean, and to see somebody, you know, that, like, somebody who's depending on that, or somebody who's, in a way, it's like having a promise that they had no intention of keeping. You know, whomever. You know, it's like there was a whole thing here in Texas. One of them was saying that the people working here would make at least this amount or that amount. I think it was something like 15 an hour, and it's not. You know, I remember seeing 17 and up. No, the average is just not that. I mean, there were times that I made really good, but that's how it is. Sometimes you make really nice amount, you know, for that kind of work. Yeah, it is. But I remember earning more than what they're paying now, way back in the 80s, 1980s. And in comparison, what would be more of an average that I've seen. But I am a bit limited because I don't do apartments with my knees. I don't do my knees, K-N-E-E-S. I don't do apartments. I stay away from anything that I would. Okay. I hope I got all the kids out of any of my video clips. If I haven't, I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not leaving kids in my videos because I don't put other people's kids in my videos. Try really hard at it. But anyway, usually what happens is this. There would be at least one child that I have to clip the clip. Anyway, whatever I was talking about, yeah. But stuff is going on around in front of me. So I might as well go home. It's 4:22 p.m. But yeah, I mean, I could see all this stuff. Now I want to go back to work. Like I said, maybe I had said this like 2 or 3 weeks ago that I was going to go back to work, and then I wasn't able to because of this health condition. So I really, by Saturday, I really want to be back out working because this is the good weather, the good temperature. Mine says 82 right now. And that's great for me, you know, instead of 110 or whatever in the summertime. But this would be good for me. But the problem is the shortness of breath. You know, I was talking about how a lot of the houses around here, in order to get to their front door, you got to climb a bit. Some of them are steep, not usually not. They're usually not too steep, but I've had a few. And they don't have rails. So you're climbing something without a rail, and you're balancing bags and whatever in your hands, and plus your phone. Yeah, that can be disastrous. And that's why the last thing happened to me was right before Halloween, and I took there were some steps, and I found out they were not like straight. They were kind of like a curve and everything, and I was like, oh. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm just rambling, and I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.